Red Bull in Italy. Internal war. RB20 out of control and Verstappen intimidated. Mercedes speaks out on faulty update and bets on recovery in Italy. All about the Alpine strike and the history and characteristics of the Monza GP. This and all the latest motorsport news, 7 days per week, here on F1 Today. Internal war at Red Bull. RB20 completely lost and Verstappen intimidated. The Red Bull Formula One team is facing an unexpected internal war, started by none other than Jos Verstappen, father of reigning champion Max Verstappen. In a twist, team consultant Helmut Marko revealed Jos' preference for the boss of rival team Mercedes, Toto Wolff, over Red Bull's own boss, Christian Horner. This provocative statement raises questions about the internal dynamics and stability of the team. Tensions are rising as Jos Verstappen criticizes the team's decision to return to the old floor of the RB20, a move he believes is a significant step backwards. This technical choice suggests that Red Bull is struggling to understand the car's performance flaws, a concern echoed by Max Verstappen, who publicly admitted, in a recent statement, uncertainty about the exact location of the problem. Sergio Perez, Max's teammate, expressed his concern, emphasizing the need for more intense work to win both titles. This statement is a reflection of the pressure the team is under, but it also highlights a certain hypocrisy on the part of the Mexican as the discrepancy in performance between Perez and Verstappen is huge, as noted by Red Bull's chief engineer himself. This exposes a painful fact. Perez is one of the employees who contributes the least to the team's development. Despite these challenges, Red Bull shows no signs of giving up. The team continues to work tirelessly to improve the RB20, looking for innovative solutions to overcome the technical difficulties. Changes include changes to the size of the rear cooling outlet, which provides additional versatility in the cooling configuration, a new set of rear-view mirrors and fins around the cockpit to improve airflow, and even changes to the wiglet mounted on the side of the halo. These changes, although they add up and result in performance, only demonstrate that Red Bull probably hasn't identified the real crux of the RB20's problem. Despite this, Max Verstappen sends out a message of readiness, albeit with a nuance of intimidation. The Red Bull team, despite the obstacles, is determined to face up to the challenges and is preparing for the next races with a mixture of determination and caution that may worry fans who can no longer see in Max the same determined and disruptive spirit as at the start of the year. Norris and McLaren, heading for glory at Monza? After an impressive victory at Zandvoort, Lando Norris heads to the Italian Grand Prix at Monza with new confidence and momentum. McLaren, which has shown remarkable performance, is ready to tackle the fastest circuit on the calendar with significant upgrades to the car. Norris, reflecting on his prospects for Monza, expressed enthusiasm at the pre-race press conference. "I'm excited to be going to Monza as the winner of 2 Grands Prix. To start the second half of the 2024 season with a win was fantastic, and we intend to carry this momentum forward as we look to close the gap in the championship." The McLaren team is not only aiming for more wins, but is also committed to maintaining the momentum that has seen them close the gap to their rivals. With a series of aerodynamic and suspension upgrades, McLaren hopes to further optimize airflow and aerodynamic load, crucial elements for success at Monza. McLaren team principal Andrea Stella emphasized the importance of keeping their feet on the ground, despite their recent success. After an incredibly strong result from Lando and Oscar at Zandvoort, we now immediately turn our attention to Monza, one of the most anticipated races on the calendar. Expectations are high for the Italian Grand Prix, where McLaren and Norris will be looking to consolidate their position as serious title challengers. With the team bringing strategic updates to the race, Formula One fans can expect a fierce and exciting contest. We still have a lot of important news in today's video, but before you watch it, leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Also, it's always good to remember that the sources of all the topics are in the description for you. Toto Wolff and Mercedes. Faulty update and expectation at Monza. Toto Wolff, the master strategist behind the Mercedes team, maintains a confident stance, defying predictions that doubt a recovery at the Italian Grand Prix. Despite the adversities imposed by the intense heat and temperature-retaining asphalt, Wolff believes in his team's ability to overcome the obstacles and triumph. However, a cloud of uncertainty hangs over the effectiveness of the car's new floor. Mercedes faces the dilemma of not being sure whether the upgrade is really working as expected. The car's balance remains an enigma, even with the downforce apparently increased by the new floor. The search for the perfect setup is relentless, and the team is working hard to find the ideal balance that will allow the W15 to shine on the track. However, with the prospect of Mercedes' revival and Audi's entry into Formula One, a new chapter promises to shake up the world of motorsport. This is because there is a growing possibility that the Hockenheim circuit will return to the calendar, according to the managing director of the group that owns the track, rekindling the flame of German patriotism in the sport. Mercedes and Audi could then have their own home on the F1 calendar, just as Red Bull has the Hungaroring, McLaren and Williams have Silverstone and Ferrari has Monza. Renault in revolt. Alpine employees announce historic strike at Monza. On the eve of the thrilling Monza Grand Prix, the Formula One world is faced with an unexpected turn of events. Alpine employees, driven by their fervor and passion for motorsport, have announced a significant strike in protest at Renault's decision to cease production of engines for the team. This weekend, the grandstands of the legendary Italian circuit will be the scene of peaceful but powerful demonstrations in defense of the continuity of French tradition and excellence in F1. The strike, which coincides with free practice, is not just an act of discontent, but a cry for unity and support for the Alpine team. The employees plan to wear white t-shirts emblazoned with the Alpine logo and the hashtag Viry on track, symbolizing the fight to preserve their jobs and Renault's legacy in F1. The choice of Monza, an iconic location steeped in history, is no coincidence. It's a clear message. Passion for F1 transcends the track and takes root in the heart of every member of the team. Renault has a rich and successful history in F1, supplying engines to teams that have won world championships. Renault's possible departure as an engine manufacturer represents not only a technical loss for Alpine, but also an emotional blow for fans and for France, a nation deeply proud of its motorsport achievements. This weekend, while the engines roar and the drivers prepare for yet another battle of speed and skill, all eyes will also be on the grandstands, where true passion for the sport will be expressed in solidarity. The history of the Monza Grand Prix is intertwined with the beginnings of motorsport, marking the Formula One calendar since its inauguration. In 1921, the roar of the engines echoed for the first time in Montechiari, but it was the following year that the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza opened its doors, becoming the Italian stage of speed ever since. With a layout that challenges the power of the engines and the skill of the drivers, Monza is known for its long straights and challenging corners, where the speed exceeds the 350 km/h mark, testing the limits of physics and human courage. There is no shortage of curiosities when it comes to this legendary circuit. Monza is home to records, such as the fastest lap in Formula One history by Lewis Hamilton in 2020, and it is also the birthplace of historic moments, such as Pierre Gasly's thrilling victory in 2020. It's a track that breathes history and thrills with the emotions of every race. The Monza GP is more than a race. It's a spectacle that combines technology, strategy, and passion. And for the Brazilian public, every moment can be experienced with all the intensity that Formula One offers. Tell us what you think about the topics below, and if you haven't already liked the video and subscribed to the channel, do so now so you don't miss out on the latest motorsport news every day. Also, don't forget to comment on the content itself so that we can improve our work for you more and more.